Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Plight of Princes. Chatting to you this time from Wales, with Lo over there. So you can see Lo's wonderful VTuber, but you can also see the back of their head constantly. So then, where we last left off, after a brief interaction with a Gith bounty hunter of some kind, not willing to reveal what their mark is for fear of the walls have ears, and not wanting to give away to anyone in particular who their mark happens to be, they decided to step away, leaving the clearing of this dungeon to a group of adventurers who seem committed to its clearing. What's the point of doing the work when someone else will do it for you? After this, after a pair, this being the simulacrum of Varus Valorant and Posey deciding to pull a lever crunk and deciding to step and slide under a door, find themselves in a peculiar position with the obvious markings of a trap room. With high investigation checks as the party began stepping in closer and closer, the party began realizing that something poured into this room after further deductions and an impressive force of will. Posey managed to somewhat make themselves appear almost like a warforged in a sense, with metal-like skin and metal and wood-like jointings and such. I believe there was also some steel wiring as the hair, which was, it's always like a fun detail I like, able to allow them to hold their breath for an extended period. Um, After this, some voices came through that they were going to perfect them, and combat ensued as darkness flooded the exterior chamber that the party were coming through, and they were launched with a wind into the room. All but one of the party, the Kairk, brother of Kika, managed to get flung through, and the door slammed down, and gas began pouring in. A paralytic gas. Quite clearly, this was an indication that this room is not meant to kill you, it's meant to paralyze you for something else to kill you. And after several very clever uses of certain spells to either dampen or drown out the magic, to drown out the poison, as well as the door being anchored and pulled open before it could get fully slammed down, people were lunged back out through it and further into the room at their volition. The machines, one of them began engaging the party a lot more intelligently and a lot more curiously, like it was eager for them. Some higher attention drawn to it. After this, and after this extended period, Varus Valorant Simulacrum decided to, using a very powerful spell, transform himself into a type of celestial which is capable of discerning lies when they are heard and seeing through illusions with true sight. Two very important elements to this. After perceiving something, after two of the party members began hearing something, the I believe it's a planetar, is it not? Yeah.
Yeah.
The planetar began hearing in the vague back of its head, not initially hearing it as there was so much commotion that you could not, but like a low static of an electric hum, there was this mumblings in the back of his head, which he could immediately discern was a lie. The similar way, like if there was a bunch of different heat signatures around, a Geiger counter would still pop off for certain things, so it picked up that something was a lie. Focusing in, realizing that there was whispers of deception going out, speaking this out to the party. Eventually, the door on the far side was picked open, and the other door was fully pulled up, and the mechanism back up in place, disarming the trap, and the statues were disposed of by the paladin, and several other efforts, including attempts for the statues to inhale back in as much of the gas as they could to store it in their body to prevent it from filling the room. It was at this point, as the party made their way out into the hallway, which essentially would result in them seeing that this entire hallway was sheen, perfect glass on the sides, on the ceiling, and on the ground. All beautiful glass, which when they looked at it was mirror. Varus was the one, as his planetary form I described this with first. Varus realized, as they're looking, that what they were seeing on the other side of this mirror was indeed potentials for them. But given that they are a simulacrum and not a being born with a soul in a particular way, created by spell, and that they were seeing through illusions and could discern a lie when it's spoken or shown, realized that these were illusions of what could be, and that these were being shown in such a way to assault the mind, but all the possibilities that Varus could be. And that is where we ended the session. And now we begin with Poe. You're looking about this place because of course you are. You've no reason to not. You are on top of the ceilings due to your spider climbing, looking around. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
Oh yeah, a skill I'm real good at. I am proficient in it.
There you go.
22.
22.
A thing that will never happen again.
An excellent start for it. So just a moment now, guys. Just need to get something up here. I don't need to use this now. Okay. Let's see. On a success.
Don't like
Right.
that you're reading that.
It's very important to read. So, Rosie, as you're looking, you're seeing yourself. And you're looking back at yourself as your reflection is wont to do. You can see where your fingers would touch against yourself in the mirror to be the reflection. But that side of the mirror looks back at you. But it is not looking as you are, it is looking at you. And it stands up away from the mirror. And you see yourself in an alleyway. You remember this from a long time ago, but it's different. You're standing over the body of the man who dragged you away. Bloodied sword, one of their swords in hand, driven through them. You look, and then you see again a different. You see prosperity. You see Prosper, traveling around like a pair of ragtag adventurers. You see yourself mutating. This is different. These are not the same. Different possibilities. You see yourself mutating, deliberately shifting your body. And you see yourself get a hole blown through your chest, only for it to heal in the same way you've seen Gregor heal. You see dozens and dozens and dozens of these potentials coming at you, these possibilities of what could have been, what can be. And in this time, you go, no, something about this. Like seeing something uncanny in the woods. In the back of your head, you just go, there is some instinct to know. Something about this is not right. Something about this is wrong. Given that you succeeded, roll me a d100.
Oh, good.
I know too good to be true when I see it.
Fortunately, yes you do.
I roll a 30. Okay. 54. If I'd rolled 37, I would have got actually mad. That's a no
Why
cut me.
37?
That's a no cut me.
Okay.
For
Get
rolling
one
the same
first.
number on the damn table last week.
Okay. Give me 1 second. This is one of those issues where because you're not at home with your own details and your own stuff. Stacey, do you have a? You don't have a DMG, do you?
Yes, and I've said on several occasions I do.
You can get a set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holding.
Oh, he's gotta look something up.
I will check though while you're looking that up, not to make you answer another question while you're looking for a different detail. In the one in the alley, does it look like? I'm assuming it doesn't look like me now. I'm assuming it looks like Pox, right? Okay, gotcha. Huh.
That's what I mean. You see yourself.
Hmm.
There's also
That
one
means
you
80
see,
different
which,
things.
There's also one you see, which actually something that decides this for me. There's one that you see which does in fact look like you, like what you want to be, and I want you to make an insight check.
Another thing I'm good at. 10. Straight down the middle. You can see my mediocre numbers.
Mediocre.
Yeah.
There's
So-
2 10s in there.
So, as you're looking across and you're staring into yourself with this, you see you are smiling. This is what you want. But you can see in the back of the eyes regret.
Okay. I do think that Posey just stares for a while, like full stares, like one, like doing the like Spider-Man crouch, but on the ceiling, and just like looking around the area where the hand is.
Yeah, where you have Venom's like Spidey suit version of you in the fucking
Yeah.
thing. Then yeah, kind of like I dig it. I dig it. Let me see. Where the fuck is? Very sorry, guys. I thought I had this prep, and clearly I didn't.
Shenanigans are taking place.
You allowed this.
This was a bad idea.
It's important.
That's what you wrote down from that?
Yeah.
What happened?
She picked up a pencil and wrote down a single note, and I saw out the corner of my eye what it was.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh,
For the
John.
next
Uh-oh, Joe.
roll d6. Roll
Oh,
d6.
these- I'm rolling so many goddamn dice. My turn hasn't even started yet. That's not how that is typed.
You can use that thing.
I could do that. I'm not going to.
He's on the left side of the screen, so she didn't see it. I'm joking, but
For the next
Not really.
3 hours, you are resistant to all magical effects. You have resistance
What?
to magic attacks and damage, and you have advantage on saves.
Yo!
No one fuck with me.
Hi,
your skin,
Renara.
but your skin is not turned to metal,
Yeah, it has.
Technically, it is. So,
It is,
Oh,
yeah.
it is.
Renara.
like an oak art. Yes, that's me.
Hey, buddy. You're staring in through a mirror at yourself. You're staring in through because you're just like, oh,
I'm so hot.
that's cool. But then you see Runara's head from behind Runara, another Runara's head lean out, and then another, and then another, and then another. Make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh.
For clarity,
those?
people in the corridor, can we see each other's nonsense?
No, very
Okay.
deliberately. You can't see anyone
That I
else's reflections.
will not write it down.
Oh, that's good for me.
It's good for you, not for this.
Oh.
So Renara, you see through. Give me a religion check while you're doing this, as I'm describing. You see through all these multitudes of different things. That's what I was
That's the same number twice.
Yes, it is.
There are other numbers.
Nope.
So, as you're looking through, you see yourself. You see a pillar of ash as a toddler. You see yourself fusing what you know is your life essence into a golem and becoming a protector of Citadel Felbar in a way that you know happens to people who pass on in a rite. You see yourself leading the faith across all of Faerun. You see yourself as a hero. You see yourself saving thousands. And all the while you feel that boop, 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 of the fire in your heart. And then in one shock grip moment, that fire, you don't feel it. And not in a mirror, not in a reflection, directly in front of you, as if you are in this moment. You see Vlakith reach down and grab the top of your head, pulling you up and leaning in. I know what happened to your gods. She died screaming. Roll a d100.
Oh, good.
You can't make me. Oh, I
It might be
really want to
good.
roll 15 again. I think it will be close.
Find out together. For better or
Oh,
worse,
that's-
it's you and me in this
that's actually-
corridor, buddy. Team normal. Team normal versus the weird fucking corridor. My favorite Enid Blyton novel.
For the others that are here, I know they don't see the illusory mirror stuff, but did they see me like get lifted up by some invisible Vlakith?
No?
By
You're
others,
very
you mean
full
me.
in the vision, but you
I mean,
don't physically
few
get
of us, though.
lifted. It
Okay,
felt
yeah.
like her hand was on your head. You could feel the life pulled out from that point,
Abs-
like it's a siphon, but it wasn't.
Understood.
Why on earth can't I find it?
Oh,
What are you
nothing
looking
happens.
for? We can help.
Nothing happens. That's true.
Where's the insanity table?
Put it in there.
Insanity and madness. Oh gosh, I used to have that memorized because I needed it.
Lingering injuries. I don't need that.
Yeah, it's called madness, not insanity,
Yeah.
which might help you with trying to find it.
Goody.
It is available online if you require it.
Yeah, if you just Google 5e madness, you can find the table.
Sorry, Coles. It's
Page
just the
258. That's
pithiness of that statement.
258 to 260 is madness. I'm not gonna look at it. I just looked at it on the index.
Fantastic. You rolled a d100, you did?
Yeah, I got 75. The best number in the alphabet.
Goodness.
Okay. Here's what Posey does see.
We love the return of this
You mean-
table.
Blacketh? You said Posey.
No, I know. This is what Posey sees.
What about the
Oh,
painter?
okay.
You begin, Renara,
Mhm.
having uncontrollable tremors. You're just shaking. And you have disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws that involve strength or dexterity.
Okay.
It's not awful.
You with me, bud?
Also, roll me 2d6.
Yeah, why not?
At this point, why not?
Oh, I rolled them separately, come down, but there you go.
9.
Yeah.
9.
Okay,
Nice.
that's going to last for 9 hours. You get to make another save in 9 hours.
Brutal.
And that is you guys who are in.
Serenus is in there. Well, she's
Yes.
not here.
Well, we don't
Oh,
know
he's
what
not
happens
here,
to
so
Cernus.
we don't see what he sees. So
No, you don't.
So
You
that's
don't
just
see
left
what,
it- that's
you
just
don't
left
see
for
what
Ollie.
Serena sees. I will get Ollie later.
Cool. Great.
Seeing as
Good.
we're, well, as the group has already started moving, I'm going to go ahead and start moving down then.
Cool.
what's the state of the room? Is it still because
The gas is essentially the gas was coming, but because the thing was pulled all the way up to its top, it is now, and the gas is it's still leaking, but it's now clearly like this is the excess that's pouring down. And it's been stopped. So it's like, you know, the valve has been stopped and now the drip is happening. But because you have two different ways, the gas is pouring out, but is at low level. Like unless you get knocked prone, you're not gonna, like,
did
get
we
affected.
wedge the door open or did we just open it?
You did not specify that you wedged the door open.
The
No,
first
we just
door,
opened it.
the first door, Plaintar me pushed it up to it clicked and stopped.
Correct. That's why it's up, and that reset everything.
Kika's going to try to mimic a spell that she's seen her mother use using her Arcana abilities. She's going to try to mimic Wall of Stone, which normally summons about 6 walls. Kika only wants 1.
Cool.
So she wants a smaller version of it, and basically just wants to have a stone wall underneath it to prop it up.
Cool. I dig that. I dig. Give me a sec there now while this is loading. Oh, 24 is fine. I was going to check the spell and mark up the DC, but because you're asking for a lesser variant of it as well, very easy for you to do. Like, you just watch as you focus, and for a moment you have almost like Kirok's sparkles about you and like extension out as you just extend up your hand, and just the stone from like the ground around just up, and it just like solidly comes up. And with that very high check, I'm going to say that the wall is so thick that it's essentially as if there's like 500 pounds of resistance put against it. And it's a very solid wall, so I'm going to say it's twice as much HP as like one wall would normally have to be broken down. So if someone comes over like, hee I'll get them from behind, a little goblin will be able to trigger the fucking thing from behind. He'll be there with a fucking chisel for 6 years.
Yes, that's all she wants him to do.
Cool. Widdick. How about you make me intelligence save, bud, as you enter?
Cool. And I'm going to have a +3 to this because of my fucking aura. That's 24.
Very good, because for you this would have been... I'm going to say this as the DM. This would have been very bad. So I'm very glad it wasn't. Because what you see, Widdick, is... You see yourself... First thing you see, the first variant that you see, and you're aware that it's like... Very briefly, you're aware from like illusions that you've inspired with Roman and other such things of like, oh... This is something that is a projection of what could be. You realize that because you see yourself skewering Sildar Hallwinter outside of the amphitheater of Imrith, where you once served her and Sansuri.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense to be an alternative.
The lines, they added up suddenly.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was like, wait, why would I stab Sodar in the... Oh,
suddenly that's
I
never
never
you didn't-
achieved
Suddenly that's less
self-autonomy.
shocking.
Yeah, you see that version of yourself, and essentially
Cool.
you see the world at that stage, that equivalent, get erupted out from the amphitheater. You see something which takes over the entire space of the amphitheater, but you know that this is a possibility. What could have happened, and it cannot. So by that standard, that potential of this immense entity rising out cannot happen. You know it cannot happen. You look through and you see yourself, your entire body made of pure platinum. You see yourself in just this perfected form, and you see a figure, an entity, a shadow, aim out towards you and blast you. And you know that that's a spell, a finger of death. Thump into your chest, and you feel yourself get a boost of energy from it, as if in that moment you would have become supercharged by being hit by such a spell. You feel yourself with all this raw power, this potential. And as there's chaos all around you, you just see it all, and you just extend out a hand and just tilt your hand straight. And as you do, all that's about you calms. And there's either successes or failures. There is no chaos. There's order. That is one that you see. You see yourself wandering around the world, around Faerun, beyond, encountering other Warforged, forming communities, forming friendships, traveling as a lone adventurer. You see yourself serving under Sildar as one of his executioners, as always being by his side, as always being one of his bodyguards. You see Nezanar be murdered because he is not needed in that timeline. You see yourself.
Eee.
Eee.
You see yourself, and you look, and you can physically see yourself, and you are perfected in reverse. You see yourself being controlled by something, another automaton-like entity, in that they were large, bipedal, mechanical all over, very clear that there is no organic entity within. And from the fingers extending out towards you, you can feel like this thrum of dominant power, as if it's, and you can see electrical sparks that are just, they're not like sparks that out, they're just continuous waves striking in under the jaw, under the neck, and at the head, and into the eyes, into the ears. You see this thing affecting you in this. He completely forgot about D&D, apparently. A1. As you're there in this moment, you're looking about. You can see that this is something that is making you free to an extent. You are free from anyone else's obligations, anyone else's controls, to be truly free in that way. There's something about you which you've not felt kind of pulls towards it, but you know this is something that either wants to make you see this, and you know full well that unless somebody is asking for a price, you are what they are working for and towards. If you do not see something that is a cost, you are what is being paid. You shake that off. You see another one of yourself where you are carving people and stitching them to yourself in a makeshift way of being some form of a flesh golem, stitching people to you, parts, pieces of meat, feather, fur, otherwise, skin, all these terrible things. You see yourself in all these forms, and you know this is not me. You know none of this could be you. Roll me a d100.
Right. Also, whenever you were doing the one about stitching people to myself, I was like, all I could think of was, I'm gonna be a real boy.
Alternate reality versions of ourselves might have been colleagues.
Yeah.
I had a slightly different interpretation of that based on a bit of MTG lore I shared with Das yesterday. But yeah.
Yeah, that's all I was thinking. It was just, I want to be a real boy.
You do not need to roll for this.
Woo!
Flip a coin, Narrowin, and tell me if you get
Shit.
heads or tails.
Oh god.
Hold on. You want the big one?
Big one.
Okay, because I have also these small gold ones as well, but
They're the
You
big
just,
ones.
you just had these ready to go.
Let me know.
Oh shit!
What, you
Hold on.
don't have coins on your desk ready to go?
Not for D&D purposes.
Damn it! I got keep doing it too far from my desk. That's a tails.
You are aware of this. For the next 9 days, choose one creature type.
Sorry, what?
Cruise.
Choose a creature type.
Fuck. Now I gotta actually. So in terms of it, celestial, fey, stuff like that, right?
Choose a
Yeah.
creature type.
Fiend.
For the next 9 days, the sword that you have on your side counts as, in the same properties as the others, a sword of fiend slaying.
Oh!
As would a sword of dragon or giant slaying be also attributed.
Tight.
Cool. So.
Okay,
So literally look up the rules for a dragon slayer. Your sword now counts as that, but for fiends.
Tight.
Sick.
That could not have come to someone better.
God. Okay.
When the paladin becomes a rogue, can I just have like 5d6s on my dice, please?
I mean, paladins can. They just smite a bitch.
That's what I'm
I was
saying.
about to say that's
what I'm saying.
Holy Smite is.
Just say you smite with
Okay.
the sword and you've got a rogue.
Right. So now I just gotta go find this. Dragon Slayer, basically.
Dragon slayer, basically.
Okay.
Add
But
the properties
fiend.
of that to your sword in addition.
Gotcha.
Like
For
I'd say
9
just
days.
for 9 days. But I would say keep that on the side and just like remember it whenever you're encountering. So like don't add it to the particular swords. Just mark it and just remember when you're using it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm just adding it to the side and adding the damage to it.
Awesome.
If the squad is like converging on this corridor, I think Pox will like take a second and go invisible and scout ahead. Especially if Runar is looking shaky.
You put the ring in and you make your way across. Interestingly, when you become invisible, Widdick, you've noticed by its absence no one's reflection. Once Posey puts on the ring, you can see Posey's reflection.
Does it
They are
look like
invisible.
Pox?
They look as you have previously made yourself look right now, like how you physically look
The
right now.
Warforged.
Yes, you look like the akin Warforged, but you can see the reflection, but you can't see them. Like they are invisible.
But yeah, I'm gonna just silently not saying anything to anyone because she's thinking a lot. Just look at a shaking Runara and Widdick's kind of processing, downloading information, and just be like, okay, I need to go ahead.
Modem noises.
And I'm just gonna try and scan this corridor. What's going on?
Cool.
Where's the way out? Etc.
Do you want a perception check or an investigation check with this? It feels like it's a bit more of an investigation.
Yeah,
that you're doing.
I feel like I'm looking for traps, that sort of thing. I'm in the rogue mindset. I feel like
That
Pox has seen what she would want to have seen from this corridor. So she's more thinking of it as a corridor rather than a magical thing.
Okay. Yes, Renara.
So yeah, can you just give me access to move the plane tie token?
Oh, excuse me.
I'll take a
Oh,
crit.
Yeah.
And also, would various planetar understand what the effect on Runara is? Like, is it just mental, literal insanity, or is it like a curse, like a?
I would say that they know it's not a curse. That does not mean they know what it is. They know it's not a curse, though. Give me a sec. I'm trying to see.
I'll do a spell in a second. We'll do Kelsey's thing first.
There it is. I just have to copy this. Give me a second, and I'll copy it, and I'll give you the copy that you can control. So one moment.
Okay, no stress. It was just so I can move the icon. That was all. Well, I've got the stats
Also-
written down as well.
Also, just so I'm sure, do I also now add another +1 bonus to it,
It's, a good-
or is it still Rune Fang being a +2?
it's still the +2. You've still
Okay.
got that plus. If it were a mundane, now it would have that. But because it's like
Gotcha. That's
it's
what I
like you
figured.
become it, so like you get the bonuses of the effect of it. It's treated as if, but it doesn't mean it gets the magical bonuses of it in
That's what I
regards to the +1. Because otherwise,
Yeah, that-
you're very
that was-
happy for 9
That's
days.
3
Yeah, yeah.
solid.
But all right, cool. I just wanted to be sure.
I keep thinking I'm
What I'm
unconscious.
actually going to I'm going to put this in B shapes and summons.
Yeah.
Can be edited and controlled by K. There we are. It also has all the rules there and everything else. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this one and post this one in. So that should be
you can
one
leave
that
me
you
up the
can
right way. I'm gonna. I cannot. You have to right click on the token and give me access to it, maybe.
Weird.
Oh,
I think
Oh.
I think tokens don't update, so you'll have to like re-drag the token out if you've updated.
Can you
the
drag
sheet.
it out and see if it'll work?
oh,
for
if
you?
I drag it out,
Yeah,
that might
and then
work.
you have to re-drag them out when you update them.
No,
I'm mad if I did.
Interesting. Yeah, that's weird.
fine.
Just
I'll
tell me
just-
where you want to go.
First thing I want to try doing dispel magic on Runara
Okay.
at 5th level.
Okay, that would be a religion check for you to cast that because you are a
It would be Varus casting it, because I keep my class abilities, so
Arcana check, then.
it's Varus doing.
Okay, Poe. I'll go to you excuse me. Well, that is done to Renata.
you know parks, entrance, exits, traps.
Mhm.
That's what they're looking for.
Okay, it doesn't work. What you realize is, as you're looking, and the further down you go, there is no access way here. Corridors, like say, you can just feel it like on your right. One of these corridors. Previously, you can tell that this stonework is fresher, but it's like solid stonework. You don't know how deep it is or thick it is. Like you give the wraps, and it's like it feels like it's a thick wall that has been built. And you get the idea that this has just been made into one long corridor, like just slightly through the glass. It's almost like there's like this glass is like a box, and in like around the box is the stonework, shall we say?
Right.
A little further down, you do see that there's a doorway to the left, and you do see that there's a doorway at the end of the corridor. I'm going to ask you to now give me a history check with advantage.
Okay.
That's the plane tile's gonna follow, but stay like maybe 10 foot behind her at the moment.
Bulla bus. Ooh.
There we go. The end of the good rolls.
Oh goodness, this is on. No, move this to map layer. Thank you. I tried to move something and it was not on the layer I intended it to be. Okay. This is a really shiny corridor.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things where it's like, fuck, it's nearly hard to see, but it's like it's no grime, no nothing. And like not even like dirt of the foot. It's like, someone fucking keeps this clean, or it's magically kept clean.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think Pox would probably be like, "This is magic shit." Can I, as part of that nat 20, check out this door on the left?
Cool. The door is. As you like go up to investigate it, you see that there is like in the glass there. You can see what appears to be like some sort of on the ground, and on the sides there's like small indents. And for a moment you're like, what is that? Then you register that those are like pressure plates on the ground. And you can obviously avoid it by being on top of it. And you see like these two at the side are almost like grips, shall we say, where you could like put your hand to hold as if to go over something, like, you know, like two bars that you would get
Gotcha,
for like
yeah.
a walkway, you'd hop over. The door itself, you get the sense that as you like look at it and examine it, the locking mechanism in it is not locked. It is like one big like knobbed handle that you could twist open. You feel like more this is a case of this. As you like look into it, you can see like just above Like this is like an indent in, like the glass is like at a break here. Just above it, you can see there's like a stone slab akin to what you saw previously, where this would probably drop if that pressure gets triggered.
Bar the doorway. Do I see that
Bar
there's a similar mechanism on the other door?
down below the further way.
Yeah.
You don't. But what I'm going to say with that 20, you see a 10 by 10 hole directly in front of the door, like a slit, like a slab of stonework that looks like it moves. As if like that stone like comes away or like moves out of the way.
By the door by the end.
By the door by the end, like directly above it.
Way out or way in?
That's at the way. That's the
No.
way further down.
No. But do I think it's for something to come in or a way to get out? Like, does it seem like you are meant to be able to open it from here, or does it seem like it opens from the other side?
Given that there's a trap mechanism here, you begin like thinking like maybe one of these opens the other, akin to the previous room where maybe because everyone got kind of belled in, you know, the traps began triggering. Like everyone kind of like ass over kettled each other.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that triggered it or set it off.
Like one bars all the entrance and exits, and then something probably drops in or gas or whatever.
Yeah, this feels like it's another. Like this room this hallway has the potential to be another kill room.
Great, good.
You're not sure how.
Knowing that
like
Planetar Varus can see me, I'm just gonna put a hand up to be like, chill there, don't come any closer.
You do stand up a hand.
I might even do this, like back up.
Like motion for people to start backing up a bit.
Yeah, because I'm gonna try and deal with these, but if it fucks up,
yeah,
don't want other people in the corridor.
How far back do you intend people to try and go?
So that if the doors shut, they won't be shut in this tiny corridor.
Okay.
Plain Tarvaris will tell everyone else to go back into the previous room behind the door.
Okay.
But
you guys
Plain
find.
Tarvaris will stay in the corridor.
Okay. You guys find that it takes extra effort to get Renara out. Like Renara, you feel like it's actually a struggle to move. You are moving. You think you might need to make checks in the middle of combat to move at your full speed.
Ooh.
Hmm?
Brutal. Okay, I'm looking after Renara
It's
for the rest
fun.
of the session. And then I'm gonna try. Oh, sorry, you're still narrating.
I'm just gonna move these guys back then.
Anyone hurt, by the way?
I'm good.
I'm good.
But no one needs 68 hit points, do they?
No, I don't.
I can do that. I can just give you some
We
hit
might need
points.
it later.
Pain cards have healing touch. But I cannot do it to myself.
Yep, you're meant to use it on other people. So, what do you try to do, Poe?
What's smart? There's an order of events here. The first thing I'm gonna do this very methodically. The first thing I'm gonna do, if I think that it is not trapped or locked, is very slightly open this door that I'm next to.
Okay.
Just like not all the way, just to have it not on the latch.
Oh, I will say this is a fair point, by the way. As a fair point, because you did roll in at 20, as you were like kind of at the center moving up, at the very center of the corridor on the ground, you can see that there's like a kind of slit and break between the glass.
So I think that this closes it off from the other end of the corridor.
It may, or you're not quite sure if like like something drops between like the two sides split, or if it serves some other purpose. It's very thin, thinner than any of the heavier doors would have been, which would give you the idea that like something heavy would not drop there.
So Varus is gonna, like I say, still stay up within like 20 to 30 foot
There's a
of
blade goes
Posey.
through there.
Okay, turn 20, 30 foot away from Posey. I'm gonna put you about there.
And if she moves up corridor, he'll probably follow. I'll say if not.
Okay.
You carefully and slowly.
Yep. And that's. I literally just want to
You
get it off the
literally shove
latch.
it. It just slightly moves off the latch. Slightly
And if
inward.
I.
What's your passive perception?
Not very high. 16? I forgot I had observant.
You open, you like shove the door a little bit, and like that thing of like the door gets opened and the trapped air comes out. There's kind of like almost a tunnel of the wind now because you guys are all the way up to the up open. You get an immediate waft of rot.
Great. And then I'm gonna pull out 3 crossbow bolts. The first one, I am going to. So how is there like 3 holes in this where I think like something would come down at the top of this doorway?
At this doorway in particular?
Yeah.
You feel like it's like one large thing may come down similar to like the slate from before.
Okay. I'm just gonna jam a single crossbow bolt into it.
Kind of think of like stopping the momentum before it begins.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say I'm going to use this as like a thieves tool check because you were
Yeah.
basically being roguey with it. We'll let you go with it.
Thieves tools check. A. 14.
Okay. You kind of like get it up and you like with the back of your palm and like at one point even like the butt of a knife kind of jam it in and you're like wedging it up in the hopes that if something comes down it won't have if something opens and tries to fall there won't be enough momentum for it to begin to fall and it'll just like catch on it and it just like it does jam and you kind of get it in between 2 points of the stonework where there's the cement and like the mortar mix that you just kind of jam it into there. You feel like it might not move.
Okay.
You
It doesn't
have a
need to
confidence.
hold forever, it just needs to hold once.
Okay.
And I'm then gonna do the same thing to that break in the glass corridor.
Okay. Yeah. You can make another
Um,
thieves check to it. Or
I'm
make
assuming.
I'll just say as you like get towards it and you have to get down to do this at this like it's just crack at the bottom.
Yeah.
What you realize is there's no like crack up, it's only a crack down at the bottom. And you just see it and you can just hear with your 16 passive perception, like because you're leaning down to try and jam, you can hear like just wind from beneath it. Like this is where something like either something goes down here, you think. Or like this is like a drain pipe almost.
Yes, that's exactly what that is. Okay, so forget that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go along the wall to that hatch at the end.
Okay. It's a 10 by 10 foot slab that you can see.
And it's indented and looks like it probably slides.
Yeah, it looks like it slides. Yes. It doesn't look like it drops and like you don't think the mechanism is here for this to be lifted and pulled. That would have to be a whole like pulley system kind of mechanic.
If I like poke it, how heavy does it feel?
You like kind of like put your weight again. Like you use like a what is that? And as you
Is
do,
it like extremely heavy?
you feel like this is the kind of weight that is just like some Herculean effort would be taken to move this if someone were trying to like move this out of the way or like put this back or stop this. You feel like it would be some immense effort.
Okay.
You want me to try?
No, because I think that the thing that would make that heavy would be liquid. Especially if there's a drain, I'm assuming acid, poison, I mean even water would do it. So what's gonna be the safest way to deal with this? Do I think that trigger is that pressure plate, or does it seem like there's a separate trigger for this mechanism?
You were very thorough, but there's only one pressure plate.
There's only
in
one
this
trigger for it.
corridor.
Weird that you would only trap the one room. I'm going to literally lay down crossbow bolts around the pressure plate. I'm not going to try to defuse it because I feel like that's asking for it to go off. I'm going to just literally like lay like a square of them around it.
Okay, we'll say you use about 5 to do that.
Yeah, that's
Just
fine.
like mark it.
I haven't been marking for awesome shit.
You indicate where that is.
Yeah, and then I'm going to give the thumbs up to Silas Varys and point at this, and then I'm going to open the door to the rot room.
To the rot room. Okay.
Yeah.
Varys will message Wittick and be like, "It's okay to start heading down. Watch out for the pressure plate. It's marked."
And I'll relay that to everybody as they move down.
Everyone gets the vibe.
The group can start heading in.
Yep.
Also, Wittick, make sure they ignore the liars. There's lots of liars. The mirrors.
And I will also relay that as well.
Okay. With that said, what do certain people try to do to avoid looking at the mirrors? Oh, Ollie's nearly here, it seems like.
Hey.
I haven't got that.
Oh, actually.
Speak of the
Hey,
devil.
Ollie.
Hey.
Welcome, dude.
Apologies for that.
You good?
You're fine, I'm gonna fuck with you because you were meant to have this first, so you're gonna get this first.
It's your turn to
Oh,
be messed
no.
with.
Oh no,
Oh,
I
no.
just got here.
If you're well, congratulations, well with the roll 20. Make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. Give me a second.
Welcome, get the fuck in!
You.
Dash this as well. You can get rid of the spiritual weapon that's on there as well if it makes life easier.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure she wouldn't be concentrating on not using that right now.
Intelligence saving throw, correct?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, fun.
This is the wrong way round.
Eh.
I should not have rolled a 22 when you rolled a 6.
Well, it was an int save. You know, if it was a wisdom save, you'd make a question about the druid roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, Serenus, as you had stepped in, like this is like back in, but previous to this, you were the first because you were the furthest in. You look around and you can see that the entire hallway is mirrored in that there is reflective glass everywhere, and you can see yourself staring back at you, but staring at you. And as you do, you see a small child being dragged into the cave of some sort of vile and cruel, large, ogreish-like blue, fiendish-like entity. And that just ends with a scream. You can see a child that lives with a banshee, stroking her hair with a silver comb until they themselves become ethereal with this entity. You see yourself in the Feywild, serving under what you believe initially, like you're doing your, adoptive father's will. You're doing Rodolph's will, but then you realize, wait, you're not working for him. You're not helping him, and you can just feel the hands of a Fey on your shoulders. You can see yourself as nothing but wood and bark. Your hair is just twisted twine and threaded root, as almost like a lesson. You see yourself as an ancient human, and you can see yourself then in different stages, at different times of being made entirely of stone, of fire, of water, of air. Your form, distinctly you know that is you. And all the while, all these are flooding at you at the same time, dozens of others, and upon hundreds of potential lifetimes for you. Roll me a d100. as it all becomes too much.
That's so much harder than it needed to be. It does.
Also, roll me 46. You have the current flaw. Mark this down, as this is part of your character now.
Oh
As you
no.
gain indefinite madness.
In-
Achieving my goal is the only thing of interest to me, and I'll ignore everything else to pursue it.
Wow, now.
That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I've just turned insane.
Roll me another d100 because you rolled
No.
below the other value that I was hoping. Okay, 27. Everyone here is out to get you. You don't know how. You don't know why. But all of them are to
Contracting
get you in
madness.
some way.
We made a villain.
You suffer from extreme paranoia.
Same.
You make every wisdom and charisma check for the next 11 hours at disadvantage. At the end of those 11 hours, you may make an intelligence saving throw to see if you can resist the effect.
So there's our wisdom and which other
Charisma
charisma
saving
and
throw
wisdom. Charisma and charisma.
at disadvantage for the
Contracted
next 11
madness.
hours. Because you stared too deep into yourself. To give you an idea, some people rolled very well on this table and managed to get things where they resisted and got rewarded, others did not. At present, you've been pulled back out of the corridor by Posey and the Planetar, who are both conveying to you, and through Wittig also Wittig conveying, that do not trust the mirrors and that there are lies here. All of this area is nothing but lies.
I
You
feel
hear a
like
little voice in the back of your head going, "Don't worry, I can keep you safe."
I think after after being pulled out of that and seeing everyone around them, I think yeah, I think Serenus would then start moving back away from everyone, very shifty eyes, kind of like scratching my
Trying to keep
neck a little bit.
everyone, trying to keep everyone in your peripheral to make sure you're watching what everyone else is doing.
Essentially, yeah, kind of scratching myself a little bit, looking around, staring at everyone, feel like I'm kind of yes, yeah, yeah. Muttering underneath my mouth something that's just barely visible, yeah.
Cool, we dig it. That was a really good mumble, by the way, because we could tell there was something, but not what it was. Very well done. As you're there with
Awful.
this, you guys are beginning to make your way through. Wittig, as you step back through, you do not have to make another saving. You feel like you don't need to after being affected by it once. How do the rest of you, which is King, Kika, Kairk, and Lo, how do you guys try to resist this effect? Being told, don't stare at the mirrors.
I have two questions, and these are in regards to Lo's background. One of which is that Lo is explicitly an actor, so would he necessarily have more of a psychological purview that if I see myself not as myself, would I necessarily think, oh, I'm just playing a role, therefore it is technically a lie that I'm portraying?
I will say this. The way it's described, you've just been told, don't believe the mirrors. You're not been told about your perspective in regards to, is that me or is that not me? You do. I will say that as a character, you do not know that. You've just been conveyed as what's been said to me by the others. Don't trust the mirrors and don't listen to the lies. Don't look at the mirrors. That's what you've been told. So how does Lo, with that knowledge, handle this approach?
Well, this is partly why I'm asking the question, because Lo typically uses his mask literally as a lie, as in, if anything that's happening here, I'm more secure because I'm playing a role. So therefore, if he sees anything in the mirror, it's like, right, that's not me, it's just me playing a role. It's a lie. It's me entertaining a lie. That's why I'm sort of asking the question.
I would say it again. You do not know what looking in the mirror conveys. You do not know what that does, and you've not stepped in yet to the room. So I'm not going. I'm going to say that you don't know. Like this line of questioning is kind of meta to what you know, and you don't have an answer to that. Like, do you walk in with your eyes closed, being guided by somebody who's already been affected by it and seems to be unaffected? Do you like just try to stare straight ahead and just focus on staring ahead?
Well, what Lo would necessarily be doing after the events that have just happened is stopping Kika from entering the room full stop because of the gas that's there and because they're being incredibly protective. But then they would avoid the mirrors in general.
Again, the mirrors are in the corridor which you've not gone into yet, and the gas is like.
Yeah, but
it's filtering out.
Yeah, but that's what I mean though, is that Lo avoids mirrors in general.
So you're gonna try and like just stare straight ahead and not look at any of the mirrors.
Yeah.
Okay. Pika?
Let me check a spell description.
Pika's praying. Seeing what spell she's looking at, going, ooh.
I mean, Kika's seen multiple people use this spell. She's going to recreate Find Familiar.
Okay.
And in doing so, she, assuming that she successfully casts it, will transfer her. Yeah, I suppose make sure that she can actually do it first. 12.
Okay. Incredibly simple spell. You've seen a lot of people use it.
It's she makes her little dragon friend, but it's a lot smaller because this is basically a non-combat version of it. Because the other one is designed to fight, so it's a lot smaller.
Like sparks, basically, on your shoulder.
Yeah,
just as a dragon.
little sparks, and that little fella literally sits right on top of her head, and she puts her vision through him, and basically makes it so she can't see through her eyes and is looking through him instead. And just kind of to test it, we'll have it like cautiously take a little step into the corridor and sort of look around and see what does the familiar see.
Okay.
Before she steps in.
Okay. Safe approach. I dig it.
Let's find out together.
What does a familiar see? It's just a little spirit.
This is where multiple other questions have to be asked.
The dragon sees all the other familiars you could have summoned in there.
just stands there for a minute going, damn, I look good in a fur.
What is this bat?
It just sees it's itself either dead or just non-existent. That's it.
It sees itself as a messenger animal rather than a familiar.
But the thing is that Kika is seeing what it sees. So that's where the weird overlap is, where it's like, well, if the familiar sees something...
How intelligent is this mirror corridor?
Yeah, how
I'm not
intelligent is
going
the
to
mirror?
tell you...
Because people can't see what you're seeing. So if you're seeing what someone else is
I'm not
seeing,
gonna tell
can you see
you.
it?
Why? But make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
You see the deep traumatic backstory of this familiar that happened in the ethereal plane where you couldn't see it.
So,
Bold of you to assume it's
Awesome
from
shit,
the
man.
ethereal.
It's awesome shit in there.
actually, no,
Who doesn't?
not Kika, everyone else. You see, while Kika is focusing using this familiar, you see it as an obvious. It's a standard, typical. The wizard sends the familiar first to make sure it's safe method. You all know of it. It's a familiar, common tactic. You see, briefly, simultaneously,
Hi. You're off to bed.
it's out spook. What you see,
Goodness.
everyone else,
Guys.
is what everyone else sees is briefly, very briefly, Kika begins phasing, like phasing, and you very briefly see directly above the familiar, as if Kika is briefly phasing into the area, as if something is trying to push her in, to not use the familiar. But she is back where she was. It's clear something was attempted. Kika, you do not feel it because you were looking through your familiar's eyes and you are unaware of your physical senses. And looking through, your familiar sees nothing.
Cool. Then, yeah, since it didn't see anything, she'll call it back and have it sit on top of her head and basically use it like a seeing eye dog kind of thing. Seeing eye dragon.
Mm-hmm. King, what do you do?
I figured I'd just be basic and cover my eyes with my hands and just walk slowly.
Okay.
Tried and tested.
Oh, Kika will extend a hand to lead Kayak, and Kayak closes his eyes.
Yeah, I was going to say, Carrick like just closes his eyes and like either has them on your shoulders or probably has it on Wittick's, knowing Wittick is immune, because Wittick walked back in kind of like, doesn't affect me. So, hands on the back of Wittick, like, press the person who can definitely see, and like has his eyes closed, kind of thing. So, eyes closed. Gonna try and look forward ahead using the familiar's eyesight. Cool. You guys step in. Serenus, do you follow?
I do, but I'm going to take a couple steps back before I follow everyone.
Okay,
So I'm
you're
kind
gonna
of
be
a
like
bit
5, 10
preferred.
foot back constantly, yeah?
This really is
I'll
dumb.
close my eyes, but I'm still twitching left and right. You trying to use my hearing as much as possible,
Okay.
while also muttering to myself.
Serenus
Here's
gone
the problem.
sus.
Here's the problem. Is that you're currently trying to look like not, but you're so concerned, what are they doing when my eyes are closed? You keep pushing your eyes open. You're not affected by the mirrors again, the reflections. It's the same thing again, and it does like make you pull away from it again. Like you're kind of like you're focusing on something, you get pulled away, and you nearly like have a bit of a stumble almost, but you're fine. You're fine. Just keep your eyes on them, and they're not going to do anything. So you guys make your way. Low, I will require a perception check. Essentially, you're trying to see only what you want to see. So by that logic, the higher you roll, the better. You are focusing on succeeding on doing this the way you want to.
Question, which I think I might know the answer to. Would Puck be able to give me the help action on this by familiar rules?
I mean, you see somebody using a familiar in here.
Yes, but that I'm asking you in terms of your knowledge of how the familiars work.
Yeah, I mean, you could just
Find
look through
familiar can
Puck's
take the
eyes.
help action.
A familiar can take the help action. You can also just look through Puck's eyes.
Yeah, well, Law wouldn't necessarily do that because he cares
Take
for
the help
Puck's
action, roll
well-being.
with advantage on a perception check.
Use that familiar help.
That's what they're for.
Okay. So I'm going to say Wittick leading the troop. How do you enter the area of rot?
I will just push the door open and see what I see, and if I will keep hold of the edge of it. So if this room is full of spores and shit, I will slam it shut.
Cool.
Saw that.
I clicked the wrong button when it came to revealing stuff.
Uh-huh.
Very sad. Also, it is important to ensure that my turn order is empty from the last time. Kiki, you can now see through your eyes as the filler may have been knocked from your head.
I forgot. I wasn't following. I just did it because I'm like a cat, and I saw the opportunity.
You must knock things over.
Okay, cool.
And also, I don't think Pox is that put off by the smell of rot.
No, you aren't.
I've lived in some shit places.
You lived in some shit. Just make a straight intelligence check.
This is relying too much on me being intelligent. Okay.
The moment you open the door, it's filthy in here. Like there is just mold and moss and disgusting bits on the ground, filth and dirt. And like when you open it, like kind of like a little bit of a wind tunnel, just like the dirt does like fall and land like on the glass, and it doesn't like disappear away or anything else. So you get the sense that it's not magically being kept clean.
Someone kept this polished.
Something is being kept, keeping this stupendously clean.
I didn't leave any. Cool, great, yeah. What else I see?
Okay. An empty ass corridor.
Full of dirt and mold and gross.
Dirt and mold and gross things, and what looks like essentially where like there's darkness to your left further on, as if to indicate like there's like a dip inward, like that's like a passageway.
Why not this? And this is just stone walls in here. This is no more mirror.
Once you're like past the glass, it is stone.
This is now indented in mirror.
Yes.
Yeah, I follow the visual. I'm gonna put my hand up for Planetar Varus to like come up and keep an eye, but like wait here.
At this position while you move, basically like you're gonna daisy chain it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go along the ceiling. And I don't know are Planetars telepathic or anything like that.
Yes.
No.
But I'm
No.
thinking.
Oh, I can speak telepathically, I think, but I don't think I can be.
You can speak to someone; they can't speak back.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't remember.
Because
I
okay,
think I
just
can.
my thought process is why not this corridor? If
I
someone's
can,
keeping
you
this
know.
devotedly clean, why is this the one that is barred off, and why not this part? So I'm gonna go up to that intersection and just look around and I'm invisible and I'm being as quiet as I can.
Cool. Make a stealth check.
Does the Planetar see anything in that room?
In that corridor, no.
Okay.
You do have advantage because you are you. You have ring and everything else.
Oh yeah. Manifesting rogue levels.
Yep.
Oof.
That was a
Terrible roll.
7.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've got telepathy.
Do you need me to make a perception or anything like that? Perception or investigation?
Just a sec, because I need to make another
worries.
check for something else.
Need to make a check for something else.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
If I die, you know what to do.
Do I?
You do, not Keek.
Okay.
The door ahead of you as you're there, like you can just like move something
There's a door.
you-
New information.
yeah, that there is a door right there that is
Oh,
like kind of ajar.
That's what
And as you're there, you can just like
But
see
is it
a
a door or is it a jar?
that is. But
Hey.
I'll make you
Continue.
blink, motherfucker, and you'll see the fucking insanity. Okay, so you can see it, and like as you're moving, you don't register too quickly, but you essentially knock something from the ceiling. You can see that it's a finger bone that's been embedded in, and it falls and just goes on the ground. And as it does, you just hear, and the door just slightly goes. Who is it?
Housekeeping.
The cleaners.
Wasn't not one of the thoughts that was going through.
I'm not saying that.
Cleaners.
This is what I would do and what Pox would do. I think Pox will just go entirely still.
You just go silent.
Do I hear
And
that?
as you, no.
Oh,
Very
100.
specifically, you don't hear this.
Okay.
Bad. Terrible bad.
As you can see, just in this bright blue, like nobleman's like military uniform, the sword at its side, this like middle-aged man, kind of slightly grayed hair, like steps into the hallway and like looks around, like fixing like this big puffy sleeve that they have, just like fixing it up. Hello? Anyone? No one else for the banquet, I think. Never get guests here. And just like steps back in and kind of like waves the hand at the door, kind of goes,
Ha, yeah, that's the other reason you would do that. Okay. Sorry, I just put about 85 things together in my head. I'm gonna go against my Pox instinct and go back to the party.
You're gonna go back to the party, okay. You, as you like make your
Even
way
though
back to the party.
the Pox in me wants to just keep going. Basically do this whole thing on my own, but I'm not gonna do that.
Do me a favor, guys, and move yourselves into the corridor in the way that you'd see yourselves standing with each other.
And I'm gonna like pull the door shut, but I'm gonna not like let it latch, basically.
Okay, like you're gonna close the door, but you're not gonna like slam it shut. Cool.
Or we're coming the full way down to where the plantar and stuff are.
You can do, yeah, if you want to.
Actually,
I will say.
I assume we'd be at least halfway at this point after that.
I'll say actually where about Runara is fair. As that's happening low, you've been staring out. You've been trying to focus on like you just like pinpoint the door at the end of the hallway. And you're like, okay, I'm just gonna focus my eye on that and keep my focus on it. As you do have the planetar there. And you're focusing, trying to focus, and there's that bright like light just like coming off the side of the planetar constantly. As you're there, and shit, you kind of like wince a little bit, and you're like a little bit to the side, and you just catch essentially where your reflection will be like next to you in the way that it is with the mirror. Your reflection is at the very corner of your peripheral as you kind of wince a little bit to the side, trying to make you look it in the eye. Make an intelligence saving throw. I will say you have Wittig near you for a +3. I'll say you're close enough because you're kind of
Okay.
like bumped as you're walking. I'm happy but also not because I have to describe stuff. Loyalty. Felix. You see your tiefling self. No Titania influence. No nothing. Looking back at you. You hear your sister's voice. You return back to the stage. You don't go out into the alleyway that night. You don't go back to your booth at the end of the night. You do not get snuck away by the Fae. You keep performing. You travel the world. You two together, performing, you see something you really want. You keep performing, and you end up doing an amazing performance in Neverwinter. With the amount of money you made up, you begin going around asking for information about doctors, medicines, well-beings. And as you do, you realize there's a lot of powerful people who begin hearing your story and your plea with you and your sister on why you go around making monies. Your mother does not pass. You have people, you have connections, you have money, and you realize how much you wanted that life. And then you feel yourself trip. And you look down at your ankle, you can see a vine just yank you. You realize you're being dragged from that. And you begin clawing at the glass. You do not move, and no one sees you move. But in your mind, you fall. And you begin clawing and clawing and clawing. And then you begin hearing the squelch of stabbing into something. And you look down, and your claws, your warped, satyr-like, almost Leshen-like claws, are striking into her throat. When you find out she's why you could not save your parents. You have that anger. You have that violence. You see yourself low, taking as the Lord in pink, humming an archfey. You see yourself making a deal, pleading with anything a different way. Twisting, you see Lo, the Cambion. You see yourself traveling around the world, having separated and gone off and been an adventurer, dodging encounters with the Fae as you go, keeping away a little bit by little bit by little bit. In this almost like game of cat and mouse that becomes a bit of a fable. As a runaway adventurer, you see yourself an old widower crone-like being, tapping your foot, or is it your hoof? You're not sure. Against the ground in a hut, and you feel the ground shake as your hut rises up on its two legs. And you see yourself, your finger on the chin of a gorgeous fiend, of an entity who is charming and beguiling, and you have them at the tip of your finger. A being beyond compare of power and beauty, and you have them at your finger. They want you. You're playing with them, and it feels good to play with them. Roll a d100.
Do you want me to roll 2?
Roll the 1.
Straight down the middle.
Loyalty. Mark down that you have this flaw.
Oh, good.
Another thought.
Actually,
We got lucky here. Is it what we've already had?
no. I'm not going to say this flaw would work. And the reason I'm not going to say this flaw would work is because it is literally counterintuitive to everything you want.
Fair.
In
It's
that
the
it would be
opposite.
like literally rewriting your character.
Yeah, that's valid.
Lo,
But
mark
what
down
about
that you
below?
have the flaw. Actually, do you pick above or below? I'll let you pick. Do you want to pick the flaw above it or below it?
It's random.
You don't know what it is, hun.
They're all bad.
They're all bad because they're flaws. Something bad like that to happen.
Rainbow, catch tiger by the toe. If it squeals, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny,
You are convinced that powerful enemies are hunting you.
Not wrong.
That's not wrong.
That's
I
not
know
wrong.
that's
just a
already
fact.
pretty much
Their
happening.
agents are everywhere, and you're sure they're watching you at all times.
That's just a
Basically,
fact.
what's already happening.
That's nothing. That's already happening.
That's not a
That's not a
flaw.
flaw.
I already know that's already happening.
No, you think there's more people. You don't know who they are, but they're hunting you.
Oh, so you think a different person is hunting you? Great.
Yeah, you have more. Now roll an additional D100.
Oh, good.
I will say that I'm ignoring anything that is a 96 to 100 on this table.
Oh, well.
Oof.
Well, I didn't want to lose that one.
Oof.
So, Lo, you begin trying to explain to people that you don't feel right. No sound comes out of your mouth.
Oh.
Roll 46.
This is real bad.
Hmm.
That's really bad.
For the next 18 hours, Lo can't speak.
On a bard? Oh no.
On a spellcaster?
I still have message.
Say, but pretty much like 95% of bard spells require some verbal components. There are spells that
Message.
don't, but almost all of the bard ones do.
I think message has a verbal component.
This
Anything,
is-
anything that has a verbal
I
component.
also have warlock stuff.
If they have verbal components, you also can't cast them.
So right, unfortunately, Frog, I think you need to go. You need to start becoming a mime and becoming like a mime bard.
Does it count
you
as
just
a
start-
verbal
just
component
start just
if you
pointing
at
Well,
stuff
you
like
don't
this?
have to be
Well,
verbal to give inspiration.
Yep.
Exactly, and at the same time, I have said to Das on a number of occasions, Lo can tap.
Yep,
Yes.
we can still inspire.
Language of dance.
And Lo can tap, and that's specifically how Lo can cast.
Interpretive dance.
River dance for us, Frog. River dance.
We can still get
River
inspire.
dance
We can still get
inspiration for
like
all of us.
glamour.
You know
glamour
what's the
mantles
cutest
and
part about
things.
this? You guys are talking about dancing, and I can just see their feet wiggling.
Can I do? Oh no, sorry. This scene's still happening. I will not interrupt the
They're just
scene.
putting Lo on their head. Look at them go.
Yeah.
Eh.
So go on, Poe. What's up?
Can I do like a thing? It's kind of retroactive to the session terms, but it would have just happened to Poe. Did that figure disrupt the dirt when they moved?
With your passive perception, you notice that they don't.
Got it in one.
Good eye.
Is the vibe I'm getting ghost as a bloodhunter?
Retroactively, I'm not going to give you that. I'm going to give you
That's
that.
fine. That's in my head.
You know that it isn't, but you're like, that could be a ghost. Fair assumption. Right, and with that, I'm going to call a break.
Great.
Type. Good timing.
My drink
Okay.
is empty.
Technical screen. Split screen. We'll be right back, guys. See you in a bit. Bye.
That's when he needs to confirm with frogs there, just turns around. Yeah, they're here.
Hello, we're back.
Welcome back. So, one more insanity later, we move on. And as you guys are progressing and making your way further up, Lo, you have this. You guys realize as Lo's trying to like turn to talk to like engage someone about something or like, freaking out, no sounds coming out of his mouth. Straight up Ariel level muted in the Little Mermaid.
No?
It's hilarious, hon, that if you could trigger your like avatar to like move its mouth without you speaking, it'd be really funny. Just
I don't know what to do. I try to cast a dispel magic.
are you using this as an archon?
Yeah, because I don't know how to cast dispel magic as me.
Okay, try to cast a spell magic. Use an archon check to do so.
Nika's done more Archon stuff in the last 10 minutes than she's done in her whole life.
Desperate times.
That's what's fun about a dungeon. It makes you sweat.
Nika's sweating a lot, but she's consistently rolling high.
Yes, thankfully. Well, except for that 12.
We don't talk about that.
You focus on casting a spell magic on Lo, like looking through your familiar's eyes, and you put it out at him. No effect. You do not. Spell magic does not seem to be the correct way to do this. And as you're looking, I will say, as you're looking around with your familiar's eyes, you can see out of the corner of your familiar's eye not your reflection. You see just a ball of pure cosmic light. That's what your familiar sees. Does not see themselves on top of you. Just sees a ball of pure cosmetic energy.
Oh, just a little wisp. Aw, that's actually really cute.
A moat.
Yeah. Kika's playing Ori and the Blind.
Let's be real, that's her aesthetic.
Lo will gesture his hand moving across his neck. Actually, I'm going to swap cameras because it's going to be easier given the situation. Give me a second.
And drumroll, please. Extended drumroll, please. There we go.
Hey, hello.
Oh, gorgeous.
Enhanced to see the DM.
Lo.
Goodness.
Oh, pro plays. Go on, what are you doing?
Oh.
Slash malevolence.
Flash tangent.
Aww.
Say what you're gonna say, Frog.
Muted.
Oh, can't hear you.
Mute it.
Okay.
Adorable.
Lo will essentially do the equivalent of but will try to tap with his feet, trying explicitly to make sound that way.
Okay.
Which does work, and especially against the glass, you can hear them like.
Oh, what's happened? I don't know what to do.
Hang on.
Yeah, I can, yeah. But you can, okay, but you can, okay. Okay. Do you feel okay? I mean, I guess you can't. It seems like you can't speak, but like, is anything hurting?
You are in no physical pain.
What for yes, two for no? Oh no.
What was the question? Sorry.
Are you in pain?
You are not in pain.
And the thing, one for yes, two for no.
Mhm.
Right? How am I going to do this when I'm holding two buttons to get to push to talk? Okay.
Just say that you
Say
say
what
no.
you do
Just say that
is
he
I
says
tap
no.
twice.
Yeah, tap tap.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what happened, guys. Lo can't speak anymore, and I don't know why. I tried to
Tap 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 tap.
I tried to
tap,
dispel
tap.
it, and nothing happened, and so it's not a silence.
I think Pox comes out of invisibility and it's just like, okay. I'm gonna like huddle up. I'm gonna walk down a bit, and kind of encourage everyone to kind of group up.
This is
I don't
probably
wanna-
gonna look
Still
very
can't say
bizarre.
anything.
This is probably gonna look very bizarre because Kika isn't looking at anybody that she's speaking to, but the dragon is.
I'm also upside down. So Pox kind of walks up to the rest of the party who are very degrees. It's like, okay, no, that's a good idea. All of you are doing good ideas. This is bad. There is number of important pieces of information. One, mechanism in this corridor potentially to flood or at least fill this corridor with something, so be careful. Two, that door leads to a much dirtier section of this place, and at the end of it, I somewhat alerted a guy who, I'm lowering my voice by the way, but I'm just explaining this at full volume for the purposes of
Stage
the
whispering. We dig it.
Stage whisper.
a guy who came out in very formal wear, fancy, but he's not leaving footprints, so it's not fully corporeal or at least fully real. Perhaps the thing for the plantar, but I don't understand why that would be when the traps activate for this place, it seals that part off. So I don't quite understand why. I haven't checked the end yet, but I can go forward and check the end if you guys. We can leave that guy alone potentially, but also would be behind us then.
Well, have you been to the end of this corridor? Is that not where
there is
the water would come from, the liquid?
Yes, yeah. I haven't been through the door at the end there though.
But there's another door.
Right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
another
At the
door
end
on
of
the
the
map.
corridor, there's another door. Yes.
I can
Oh,
go
okay.
check
Well,
out that if you guys.
do you want me to do it? Like, this is plain tile, by the
I'm
way.
a bit subtler than you.
I click my fingers, I'm invisible.
We'll go together.
Also,
but-
very interestingly, when they go invisible, you can all see, those of you who are looking in various ways, you can see the reflection in the ground.
Mhm.
So, like, feet tied to feet down below.
I think also Pox is starting to get like they weren't unnerved at all by the things they saw in the mirrors, but it's starting to get unnerved that everyone else is getting fucked up and they didn't. So I think Pox is gonna be like, okay, follow a bit behind. If there's a problem down there, we don't have to deal with it just yet, and we're having enough trouble as it is. So, me and Varys are gonna head a little forward, follow behind. We keep it calm until we have some other choice. But we're here for the spire, so if we can focus on getting that out, we don't have to deal with this issue anymore. We can focus on dealing with what's happened to Lo. And I'm really sorry because that seems really gnarly. And whatever else is going on. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, stay a couple paces back. Those of you who are keeping your eyes closed, King, and that, just hold tight, okay? We're gonna be okay. And I'm
Understood.
gonna
Oh, sorry.
head forward with Varys.
Telepathic, that one.
Telepathically.
Telepathically.
Got the
To
hard A.
Posey, I'd say I'll catch up in 2 seconds.
I go invisible
I'll-
and go ahead then.
I'm still invisible for this. I'll fly over to. What'll be first? Yeah, I'll fly up to Low and just whisper. No, I'll used to be telepathically as well. I'll be like, "Don't be too loud when I break this, and I will do the spell evil and good."
Okay. I'm going to ask
Alright.
for an Arcana check in addition to this.
Excuse me.
This is the plain tar casting it. It's his spell, not mine. So I
Okay.
don't know if that changes things.
Right.
You tell
What
me.
is their like? Okay, so what would be the planetary spell DC?
Spell saves DC 20. But that's 'cause it uses their charisma.
Correct.
But I have my stats.
I'm going to say with their spell DC, with this is how I'm going to say this. You focus on it, and using that, you can feel that there is something attempting to stop you. But given that this is a planetar doing this is literally what they're built on, is anti this kind of nonsense. Which do you take off? You can take off one at a time.
One know that there's more than one thing.
You can feel like just touching it, you can feel that there's two threads essentially tied to low, and you could rip one of them. One at a time. You know you can.
I'll do the speech. I feel like that's
Okay.
being able to that'll back them up.
Okay, so low can speak.
Whew.
And I fly off the posy.
Low, even just like breathing, you can hear your breath again. So there's to that as well. So you fly up to Poe.
I checked this door before, right?
You have not examined it specifically. So I'll say make an investigation check for this door.
I know there's that above. Keep half an eye on that. Perception or investigation?
Investigation.
Not 20.
Hey, of course.
Okay.
I think Pox is like I'm the one somehow I'm the one keeping it together, and even though they're not really a team player, there is a
Yes.
sense to which this has kind of been their like they made a strong stance and took the lead on this. So now that people are starting to get fucked up, that's also kind of on them. So it's like, okay, no, I need to stay in the
Also,
zone.
it's a fair
keep it
thing to
together.
say is that being in this tense situation, these kind of like narrow stone hallways and passages, you've been here before. You know how to keep a level. So you're focusing. First thing you notice is that directly below this, like just directly in front of this door, there is another slab, which would be a pressure plate.
Mm.
You realize it not because of like anything obvious, but you realize it because while this entire area here, like just like directly in front of the door is where the glass ends, and there's like a divot in. So like where you'd kind of like step down from one platform, like or one level down,
Yeah.
like a step, directly beneath it. It is all entirely it because you can tell by at the walls where it would have like mortar and pestle. It's just like cemented in, or it's not cemented in at all. It is loose where you could tell like it could be like
Right.
pressure coming down for it.
Same procedure. Crossbow bolts around.
Okay. You like gently leave down one, doesn't affect it. You leave down like one or two more. So
Yeah,
mark
just
down
like
three.
around the top of the step to be like, hey, something's at the other side of this.
Okay. You do that, and as you do, I'll actually move the planetar up next to you. I always presume, by the way, unless you specify that the planetar is flying, so that you don't. It's not easy to fly here. The space for the height, it's not good. The wingspan, it's not great.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
I'm not trying to go like super speed. Like
You're not going to go Sonic down here.
it's like it is
what it
faster
is.
for me in general to fly.
Yes, it's
But
just in general here. Like it's better to do it, but you might not be moving at your top speed down.
yeah, it's like even if I'm difficult terrain, I'm still walking. I'm still flying faster than I can walk.
Yes, that's fair.
The 60 foot would be half, but I've got a 40-foot normal move.
So
Lock this thing
you're
locked.
there. What I will say is to continue just there very quickly is that no, you're good. You're good. Fair shout. Is that the door is a locked mechanism to it, like a lock underneath a knob kind of doorway again. But what you can tell about this is that the like essentially the handle for this is like it's a normal like ball kind of handle for a door, except it's a door with a face that's just smiling, and like you can see two little divots just at the top, like that, like you know where something would be sent to be carved, and it's like just like little grooves just at the top of both sides of the head that go back.
Horn.
Has Varys seen any sort of door handle like that before? I'll roll for a check if you want me to.
I'm gonna say no.
Um. I don't think Pox would think to approach this any other way than any other door. So
I will also say by your very thorough investigation check, like looking through the keyhole and that, you do not detect like even tapping the door to see if it's hollow, like but not doing it loudly in the kind of way of like
just
seeing
like
if it's
getting vibration for it.
yeah. You could tell that it's not hollow, so there is no mechanism within it for a trap.
I don't think Pox would be aware of Alice in Wonderland, and therefore I think she will open it a little bit like she did before. Just like push it.
If you do try to open it a little bit, it is locked.
Oh, right then, yeah. Lock picking.
Nice. I'm not trained in lockpicking. I can't really assist with this, can I? I don't know.
No.
I'm sure I don't. 19.
Damn, son.
Solid.
Damn, Moon. You spend some focus on it, and you're there, and you're just like very closely. You're carefully like listening for the. No. You just keep going until you eventually get the twist, and you can hear the lock twisting open. You touch it just to like move it slightly, and it does come open, and it opens outward. So it opens back into the next hallway.
When I see the door open, I'll just put an invisible hand in front of Posey and just pull her back 5 foot.
Okay.
And I will step through the door.
You step in the door.
You step in a very loose term.
You kind of like float in.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't physically step on the
You
floor.
see,
You hover in.
you rein them in essentially. You like step in your way, and with your planetar eyes, you're looking for any kind of trap, anything else. And there's something about your essence now as a planetar in this form, where you just feel like to use a no longer appropriate but a fitting comparison. The old way that it was described what an orc was like when they saw an elf in older editions of D&D.
Like a bit of a rage.
There's something primal in you which is not belonging in you as a planetar, as you are not one organically. Something about it is calling you up the passageway, like, and you're just there, and you can just see a large stone doorway in front of you. And as you're there, you're looking down. You can just see the entire hallway at the end, that stone, just. And as it does, it kind of like warbles and drops. Dust kind of kicks a little bit. And you can just hear a voice at the end of the corridor. As you are down there, you can begin hearing the sounds of joy, of pleasure, of laughter, of delights. A lot of interesting things are happening. As there's just this aura out, you can just see this kind of almost like a tangible musk in the air kind of like lingers down the hallway slightly. And you just hear, in a voice which is, if not for the fact that you are a planetar, you feel like it would have just some sort of grasp to you. darlings, you're finally arriving.
I know what language it's in. Do I recognize the voice? Anything like that?
Very interestingly, in the same way where whenever you speak, anyone understands you,
Yeah.
this is the exact same way.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It
It's
is not a
a
voice
language.
Varus recognizes.
Okay.
And as you're there, you just hear, come, come, come out of my cleaning corridor. Come on.
That insight
Very.
check just to get an idea of like.
It's bad, Varys. Come on.
You want-
Do I need to insight check
What do you
it? It's not-
mean?
How many years have you been an adventurer?
This is
I
not
know, but-
friendly.
I'm just trying to get a vibe off of this thing.
The vibe is no.
Horny,
Horny.
evil, demonic, bad.
Bad.
Probably a good time though.
It's
Like,
just
10 times
bad,
get a bonus
bad.
insight.
Some are chaotic evil, some are lawful evil, some are horny evil.
And some are all three, all four.
Mm.
I can do
Depending
that.
on what you say about this. Okay, so hilariously they rolled lower than you, but their modifier is much higher.
Really?
You don't say.
Always roll a one.
Always roll one. Adventures like this couldn't fail. You just hear this voice and everything about your essence. Like, I'm not going to dismiss the fact that you made a clever roll with what you chose to become. Everything about your essence says, this is a lie. You can tell it is. But there's some part of your mortal self, not your planetar form that you're taking, some part of your mortal soul kind of believes that it's inviting you on.
I was about to go into a big technicality. You said I don't have a soul. I'm assuming that and you're like mortal soul, and but wait,
Wait a minute.
You said earlier.
I have no soul.
I'm actually.
I'm not.
I'm actually simulacrums don't have souls.
I'm actually made of snow.
Actually, if anything is going to procure you over, this would.
Hey, do I hear this?
will...
Yes.
Does
Do you want me to
everyone
roll
else-
the save, or will you like to roll the Christmas save?
I mean, I'll roll it.
This is not magic, by the way.
Great.
Yeah.
Do the
just-
rest of us hear it?
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
going down the corridor yet. It's
You know,
Posey can hear it.
if I get an opportunity to fight the party, I'm gonna take it. Right.
I do, unfortunately.
Kind of wish I could as a plain tar, but that would be fun.
Don't worry, girls. I'll
14.
take care of you.
Thank you. I would like to see you try.
I have Moonbeam.
That won't stop me.
I know.
It'll just confuse them.
I have flame strike.
It just means you're dealing with Pox, who's more horrifying than whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
this
true.
watch is.
Where'd my pin go? So this voice, the only voice that's ever comforted you like this is the moon. You feel like it's okay. It's weird. Context given, but it feels like it's okay. I will say, you feel like there's a wall here where the voice can continue down to your friends if you let it. But why wouldn't you?
Never stopped me before. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna head into the corridor.
Okay. As you
Right.
head into the corridor,
Not in front of Farish or not?
Well, no, I'm behind
But-
you, but I'm upside down.
Yeah, good. He won't let you.
I will say the voice the voice dances down the corridor. And all of you hear it. Serenus, who is currently incredibly paranoid, and Loyalty, who has experienced this effect from another entity a lot before, get to make this save with advantage.
Cool.
Everyone else, straight charisma saving throw, please.
Christmas saves.
Let me be possessed.
It's not magic, so we don't get Wicked thing. Is that right?
It is a saving throw. Any
Oh,
saving
right,
throw.
okay.
gets it.
We're turning on the
So
party.
Christmas,
Bye.
Oh.
so Christmas
That-
saving
that-
throw with advantage, correct?
Congratulations, demon! You just got yourself a child.
The plain tar is Runara.
Your horniness resulted in a child.
So I'm going to say that you guys are close enough to Wittick to give the +3s for those who it matters to. King, don't forget to roll as well, please.
Not you. I need the inside of this fan to say that's illegal.
Blue, can you please roll for care, please?
Oh god.
Suddenly this isn't
Oh,
funny.
Suddenly this isn't fun.
I would have
Does
been
dragons
fucked if
get-
it wasn't for advantage.
I also
I
can't
would
roll.
have been fucked
Both
hard.
of you and
Literally. Literally.
probably failed.
Wow,
was gonna
both of the
make a-
birds were horrendous.
I was
I'm
gonna set
going
a
to
question,
say-
but I don't
That's not
think
good.
it would matter. Never mind.
One Wittick, what's up?
Well, no, because I can't use channel because it's an act. It would be an action, and this is just now happening.
Yeah, this would be a reaction.
Yeah, never mind.
Subconscious.
What was it? Charisma?
Christmas saving throw, please.
Y'all can't
Okay.
see KX roll, but this is bad.
It was not a good roll, squad.
I'm going to say, because everyone's around Wittick for that +3. I'm going to be generous in that way. So, anyone who has a 20 or up succeeds. And only those with a 20 up succeed.
Not even
So
close.
low, so low with the +3, you're fine. Serenus with the +3, you get up to that. Runara, you technically have a 25, you're fine. Wittick with a 24, you're fine. Or do you already factor it in? Either way, you're fine.
Yeah. I don't think I actually. Yeah, it's not factored in.
King, you're doing some king shit. You succeed. You're also fine. You can tell that this is a voice which is charming and alluring. It's comforting. You could swear it's like your mother's lullabies.
That one's about loud.
So, Planetar Varus, you are just standing there.
Menacingly.
Still because like I know you mentioned like the Varys part of me is like, oh, does he have to make any sort of save?
I'm saying that as a Planetar,
It sort of
you can
counter-affects it.
tell. Like, your inside check was your save against this.
Okay.
Because who knows what would happen if that was a bad insight check.
I look at Planetar Varus and do like a. You take that way. I take that way.
Like, no, I will say, Poe, you know it is north. It's up the corridor. It is that way. That is where the voice is.
And I feel like I want to go that way, or do I still feel like I'm acting under my own?
You feel like there's no reason to not go there. Like,
Gotcha.
you're being invited.
Then redact that.
Like, you're not like, come little children, I'll take you away. You're not walking like
Yeah.
a mindless zombie, but you're like, why wouldn't I go this way?
Yeah, I kind of like. I don't know. I'm invisible. I'm assuming. But I assume that Planetar can see me and just make it look like after you.
Runara's going to cast locate object on the spire.
Legitimately.
Renara, the voice is bringing you to the spire.
That
You
after,
feel
that after the cast or before I cast it. I feel that.
after you cast it, after you use locate object,
Yeah.
you're like, okay,
I'll use it.
tell that voice is coming up from that corridor. Bing. Like, you get the idea that if you were like the triangle of like that's a corridor, and you feel like it goes up and to the side based on what you can see with them like looking, you can get a sense that it is right there.
And is there any doors at the end that we can see? Like, or do you just open up into a corridor, or like open up into a room?
What you guys can see is you can see the doorway that Poe just opened. That's what Runara can see. You cannot see beyond.
Oh no, sorry, but I mean the planetar now. Sorry,
The Planetar can
I'm
see
switching.
up. No, you're okay. The Planetar can see up and into the corridor, and then at the corridors, like the front of it, you can see through magics, incredibly powerful magics. You can see through effects. There is just blackness there for you.
Yeah, what do I see?
You see, you hear, you feel like there is like you're not a party person. You're not like a
No.
you're not like a I want to be seen in the middle of a party kind
I
of
want to
thing.
be
You don't
pissed
want to
off.
like walk in the middle of one. But you feel like people are
I'll be
having
a
fun
fly
up
on.
there.
I'll be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, but you feel like there's a party going on there, but it feels like you're okay to just walk in whenever you like. There's no like apprehension or tension to it. You could just go right in.
Poe, let it be known that Poe is not 0% horny. So very much not.
That is there. That is
Um,
there.
Yeah, I'll kind of like tap Planetar Barris on the shoulder and like make a notion and stuff.
Invisible.
I don't. Yeah. True.
You can see him. Oh no, you actually don't see where Planetar is.
Yeah.
Planetar is invisible.
No, I'll just start.
Planetar can see you.
I'm still on the ceiling, but I'll just start like sneaking up that way.
You just like make your way on the ceiling.
Grab.
Grab leggy. Make an athletics check to grab.
Straight up. Grapple one.
Yep. Acrobatics or athletics, poor.
I wonder which one I'll pick.
I'm not proficient. So it'll just be a
Constitution.
strength check based on the plane task.
You are
strength.
not.
So it will just be this.
That's an 18.
Bested.
Fox doesn't love being grabbed, but
I rolled an 11. Get fucked.
The entity's going to use its reaction to be fun.
Just a little fuck.
this is what I want. This is what I
So-
want.
Mayhem.
So, using bent luck, they rolled a 3, meaning you instead did not get an 18. You got a 15. You did
Yo.
not catch Poe.
Spicy.
That's what's in the room.
This is gonna go bad.
Of course it is. All of this is awful.
And
I look
as you're
Go on.
so, like you're there, but like you're moving up towards it. I'll say as well. Up here, and I'm just gonna go to the map layer. Oh, excuse me. I believe that might be on the token layer. Oh, it is. I'll just send that to the GM layer, and that should be just a clear walkway for you now.
We see like a door, but
See the
yeah.
door.
But we see there's a room after it that we can
Yeah.
just about see.
Yeah, just about to see. That's fine. I will say as well, by this point,
Oh, we can
everyone else
imagine
would
the
have
door's
made
not
their way.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Yeah,
rest
we
of us
caught
have
up. We caught up now.
By the by, just for flavor's sake, if Kika and Kayak are sort of very, very eagerly moving in that direction,
Mhm.
if they try and pass by Lo and Lo would feel them behind him, he would immediately try and block them. Wouldn't necessarily look at them. Try and keep focused.
I will say, Lo, in addition to that, you know the kind of charming effect that this is. You have been induced into it multiple times. You are aware that this is an entity whose sheer force of charisma can charm those around them. You are aware that this is a charm-like effect.
Mm-hmm. But Lo will very, very cautiously to Kika tap, which is no.
You can speak.
I know, but I'm purposely choosing not to.
Okay.
Just to sort of say
Yeah.
to Kika, no.
I guess
Look
Kika
at
probably
that.
looks like confused because obviously in her brain she's like, it's fine.
Yeah.
In her brain she thinks it's fine, so she's just like,
Lo will just very, very firmly then repeat, even slower, tap, sort of aggressively, no.
you're just being silly. It's fine. I hate this so much, by the way.
No, Kika. I've seen this before. No. Keep your wits about you, Bluebird.
Always try my best. It's
So,
okay.
Hey, bub.
It's not.
You can just see now. I don't have everything here because I don't have all the assets. But picture in your mind in this room. It's a long room that goes down about say 140 foot back. It's about 50, 60 foot wide and goes up maybe 40 foot tall. In it, you can see lounging beds, curtains drawn on some, curtains not drawn on others. You can see hookah pipes. You can see uh, certain powders in bowls that are ground up of multitudes of colors being passed about. Servants who are blindfolded, not in a way of like rimmings or anything else, but like a simple, plain white blindfold on all their eyes. They're in perfectly white suits, immaculate, not dirty, carrying around and handing things, be it liquids, liquors, otherwise, to multitudes of people. Mortals, elementals, freet, genie, many types of entities. If you can picture something that has a desire, one of them is in here. One of these multitudes of beds and events and indecencies, which you may or may not turn your eyes from, are being performed. Very much so, this is a fun place. But I'm going to say, as my statement as a DM, nothing here is happening like this is entirely an consensual grouping of people. Making that very clear. But charm effects benign, allurance is benign. Everyone who's here seems to have wanted to be here. At one point or another, they want this. And at the very end of this corridor, you can just see a small, like 5x5 like stone slab, which currently has two of these servitors who have their sleeves rolled up to the waist, or like up to the up to the elbow, and they're just scrubbing with bars of soap and sponges off of an altar. And as they are, you can just with your ears, you can just hear like as a figure is like at the very end, this very large, wide, like corner bed, like with like a slice of a triangle slice of a pie with a radial to it. An enormous amount of pillows, wide, deep wine red colored sheets, and like draping that comes down, but has been pulled back on both sides. And you can just see two long black legs just like extending out, but not black as in a skinned obsidian in color. And just hear and just see like six like toe digits like extended on both like feet coming out and just like crossing it. And as you can just see the figure as pulling themselves up, the skin of someone else turning obsidian black. The host accumulating to its correct form for its new entity. You pull it back, sleeks back his head. They are gorgeous. This very short black hair with what looks like at the very tips on either side. You're not sure if it's hair or if it's like horns. Their eyes are pure white. And they have this gorgeous draping toga across themselves of a lavender rich. And they just look immaculate. Their body is not Mr. Olympia, like say, designed, but it's more like a Grecian statue in its design of just like there is muscle, there is beauty, there is weight to this. Everything about them is gorgeous. As they just unfold their legs, they do not let the toga sit there and they just pull it down slightly, but you get a full wide view and you're convinced that he has two tails. Until the tails move around behind and you can see at the very end of the tail that just like is sliding back up and behind two forked ends to it. It's just like they come out and they're just more or less like leaning as if they're at the side of a bed and like they're on the step. It's like 1 or 2 steps down. And they're just there. Now that was perfect. As they're playing with the spire of the kith. And there you see Grast. And this is where we're going to end the session.
Oh, Lord!
I'm ready.
Oh, my good Lord.
I'm ready to make some bad decisions.
We already have.
I made some great decisions. I just rolled poorly.
You're charmed by the demon prince of pleasure, so you know it's gonna be a real fun time for you.
I'm also a changeling. Let's get it.
Yeah. I have concerns that I'm not going to vocalize on the internet. Oh boy.
There we go, demon.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you for being
the reason why I'm totally okay going into this scene.
Thank you for being the rock for
fully
this
charmed, whatever the fuck. I don't care. It's like,
do-
no, put it in a planetara behind me.
Something on the plane that shouldn't be on the plane.
I can lean into the scene.
I'm pretty sure we don't kill this one. So don't think we can.
Not here, we can't.
can get it to shush back to a
Yeah,
different plane.
anything we do here just sends him back to his home
you guys
plane.
can. I'm
Darlings,
going
if you want
about
to have a bit
other
of foreplay,
methods.
I'm all for that.
Again, I need to have that's illegal put on this man.
Protective Lobo, Jesus Christ!
That's illegal.
somewhere else.
That's
I'm
illegal!
I'm going to make this very clear. This is the Lord of Pleasures and Decadence. Not even in my setting will that entity aim anything at a child.
Good. Good.
There are certain rules of, like, literally...
There are rules of... Just, you know what? We don't even need to talk about it.
Yeah.
We just have decency. You know, we don't even need to talk about it. We have common decency.
Even
not gonna
my
happen.
rule as decency.
We have decency. Not gonna happen. Cool. Well, we're gonna find out what is gonna happen next week.
Not next week.
Oh, not next
Maybe
week.
maybe not even 2 weeks.
Oh,
But
oh,
at some point.
big old break.
I believe it'll be the 8th that is the next time I can.
Oh, Lord, you're gonna have to wait, my people.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
excuse me. The
2
7th.
weeks.
The 7th is when I can play this next.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks from now.
Oh,
2 weeks, guys.
Loud. You guys gonna have to wait and find out. That's fun.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
That's one heck of a
I will write
cliffhanger.
fanfiction.
Yes. Okay.
Screams in fiendish heritage. Jesus
Oh my god,
Christ.
Patches, your timing is awful! Patches, your timing's awful. We're just signing off for the night. I'm so
We're finishing
sorry.
off. They're about to encounter Grast in the next session.
we
of
just
D&D, my guy.
finished up the session. We're about to face Gratz, the Demon Prince of Hell, but we've just ended the session on a cliffhanger. I'm so sorry.
Very notably, Demon
Should we
Prince
pass
of the
them on?
Abyss.
We've got a raiding party, we'll pass them on. to
Yeah,
someone
if
else.
we've got a raid, we can pass it on. But thank you very much for thinking of me and sending some people here. It's very much appreciated.
What we got?
Who is even streaming at the moment? I don't even know.
I'm not on my own.
I
account.
will say, just to have a visual, there you go, guys.
There they
That's
are.
what you see.
Oh my.
My party will be encountering this next week, or 2
Woo!
weeks from now.
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
Good lord. Well, if you're interested to know how that goes, if we're going to have to deal with that, you're going to have to drop a follow and, get some notifications for when our stream is happening. We normally stream on Wednesdays, but we won't for the next couple because people have holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so enjoy that.
Ah,
LCT streaming, fantastic. We can
there's
definitely...
your answer.
We
Yeah,
can
that's very
definitely
friendly.
Pass you on.
as pass the people on to Simon. I hope that maybe we'll catch you guys again in the future.
Yeah.
You're all from Paris, but tell them Blue said hi.
Yeah.
Have fun, everybody. Enjoy some Red Dead Redemption is what he's doing. So, hell yeah. Again, thank you very much. I'm sorry that I couldn't entertain you much longer.
Come back another time.
Yeah,
Follow
maybe
and
next
come
time.
back.
Maybe next time. Drop us a follow. It'd be much appreciated. I love you all very much. Okay.
Plus, just a quick little marketing thingy because we all care about our Blue. Blue also does frequent art streams on here as well as D&D. So do give her a follow on Twitter at so do give her a follow. Do give
Thank
her a
you.
follow on Twitter at Blue Sky Wolf 09. That's Blue Sky Wolf 09, and she will let you know when she's streaming next.
I sure will.
I think
Thank you for
you've been streaming Monster Sanctuary. You've been streaming Digimon recently.
Yes, I also dabbled in Guild Wars the other day because we got Guild Wars fun going on. It's all good.
Also,
Thank
plug,
you
plug,
so
plug.
much for
There's
the promotion because I'm terrible at promoting myself. Also, I have an art
There's-
Twitter that Das has handily put in where I take art commissions if you're interested. Right, our raid time is about to run out, so enjoy your time with my friends, guys. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hit that button.
Hit that button.